Coming into this whole thing, I was excited to travel a bit, making going out being my career, which is fun. And, looking back now, kind of the way things have gone, over 40 countries later, I don't even want to count the girls. Drinks is probably even worse. And just the amount of partying I've done, 1,000, 1,200, 1,500 nights out. And I really feel like it's just getting started.
What helps you stay so positive during the whole day?
Of course, there are like the tangible aspects to it, of the amazing, like here, being in the middle of nowhere in Australia, pool, it's nice and everything like that, compared to being back home in Wisconsin, where it's cold and snowy and shit. But there is just the whole side of like, you really determine your reality based on, your perception is reality basically. So if I want to look at anything, I can look at it as either good or bad. And I just have made the decision to make everything fucking appear awesome. I think in any circumstance, there's always at least 1%, 5% awesomeness to be had. And you can kind of identify yourself with that. Not identify, but you can look at the good in everything, basically. I've trained myself from literally half a decade, plus having a pretty healthy background before I even got into this. So I definitely had the inclination to move things more in a positive direction. But then all of a sudden when I got into finding out about self-development and how you can sculpt your personality and really cultivate the way you view things, I really amped that up to even a higher level and really created the self-discipline of just only view the positive. Whenever I fall into the negative, cut it as quickly as possible. Of course, maybe look at it critically after the fact about how I can maybe make my situation better in life. But ultimately, so much of the happiness and the good vibes come more from just forcing that positive and always finding the good in everything that I'm looking at. I think most guys, when they fucking just live their life, anything that happens, they always look at the detriment, the bad side of it, or they look at where they're not there yet. So like, I want this, I want that. And they're always looking at the long-term shit instead of actually enjoying the fact that they're moving towards something, So it's good to have those goals, but you should celebrate every time you're moving towards them. I have a very vivid recollection of me back in the day consciously working on this stuff. I think that, as I said before, I did have some inclination to move things in the positive naturally. But I remember right as I got into all the Eckhart Tolle and the Eastern philosophy stuff, that's really when I was very hyper-conscious of, like what's going on here? And I think, as he says, Eckhart Tolle, the first thing is the more you're in the present moment, a lot of, I think, the negative aspects come from either how you felt in the past or you worrying about shit in the future, having anxiety towards the future stuff. So that was a good first step. But for me, once I kind of got there, that actually just gave me the power to realize, whoa, I can flip this. I can view this in a way that, right now, how's this going to affect me? So it comes back to, for me, the positive reframe again of looking at, how can I reframe this into something that's going to help me out? How can I reframe? And I think it's a skill and it's a muscle like anything else to develop that skill of like the positive reframe. If I look at my past, I truly do believe that I've never had a bad thing happen to me. Like nothing bad has ever happened in my past. Yet if I really look at it, I've fucking spent tens of thousands of dollars here, lost it doing stupid shit, fucking going bankrupt, business shit, fucking losing an 8-year girlfriend, not getting into medical school multiple times at the time, and then kind of getting in, wasting money, and going through that, wasting the first, 25 years of my life in the rat race. It's very easy for me to look at that as kind of a negative thing. But it's also, now for me, it's even easier to view it as a positive. So when I think about the whole perception reality stuff, it's like, why not view things in a way that's going to move you forward? Why sit there dwelling on the bullshit, stuck in that negativity, and then you're just kind of wallowing around, not going anywhere? For me, I very consciously make the decision of like, how can each little thought process I have move me in the direction I want? How can I pick that direction more accurately. And also it's like anything that goes anti to that, I'm gonna cut it out, fucking totally block it. And it's like, I know we've had questions or conversations before where people talk about, are you suppressing emotions or you're transcending them? And I've talked about this in videos before. I think suppression is, of course, a bad thing. We just try to block it out. You're like, no, this bad shit happened. I can't think about it. I just totally want to block it out. But it's another level to look at it from as many perspectives as possible and then reframe it in a way that's going to motivate you. It's going to make you more enthusiastic and increase the self-esteem that you have and move you more towards the things you want.
So something most guys in the brigade and myself have learned a shit ton from is the spiritual theater in the Jed McKenna books. How do you think that had helped you develop into that, fun, positive guy you are today?
Yeah, I really like Jed McKenna's the spiritual theater analogy. It's kind of a new take on Plato's Cave, and because I don't remember Plato's Cave accurately, I'll go with the Jed McKenna process. And what he says is most people, they're strapped in to their chair, they're in a movie theater and they're strapped in, chained in, and they're looking at the movie being played. And the movie is basically your perception of reality, how you're viewing things, and the actors playing out. That's basically how, like when you look at the environment right now, people interacting through their ego and everything, most people think the movie being played, the egos interacting, is life. But the next step to kind of go away, a higher level of consciousness, is to realize, no, actually I'm sitting in this chair, locked in, looking at the movie, holy shit. But then similar to Plato's Cave or Jed McKenna's analogy, what he says is that actually you're not even fucking chained in to that fucking movie theater. You see the costumes and you see the ego up there in play, and you realize, wow, I have complete control to change this. And if I think that the big issue that dudes deal with is people are so stuck in their identity, they're so stuck in their persona, and they think, this is who I am, this is how I was raised, especially like victim. I was a victim, this victim thing happened to me, and that's who I am. And you can really look at, okay, cool, shit happened, and notice how, because you perceive things specifically, that's what created that personality. But also it's completely arbitrary and totally random shit that happened in your life, and how you perceived it, more importantly, is what created who you are today. And then with that, it gives you full freedom to go, shit, no, I want to change that. I want to change the costume I wear. And that's really what allows me to kind of force that positive reframe so strongly. Because instead of living life as like, this happened to me, this happened to me, this is where I'm at now, this is how my identity was created through other people and the actions that I took and the results of all that. Instead, I determined that, okay, cool, what do I want out of life? Girls, right? Making money, getting jacked, all that shit. And then what I do is like, if that's what I want, what sort of costume can I wear that's gonna move me towards that as quickly as possible? And is any negativity gonna move me towards that more social, fun, party guy that's an attractive dude to be around, high self-esteem? It's fucking completely anti that. So whenever those thoughts kind of come in, because they don't filter in to the costume that I wanna wear, I don't even allow them to enter my psyche, basically.
What made you really change into that self-loving character you are today?
When you go up and you talk to someone, anyone, whether it be a woman or a man, the only way they're gonna know how to interact with you, either you make that decision or they do. So you're gonna come initially when you get in there, you're pinging off of each other, right? Ooh, how should I respond here? And if your view of reality is that I'm amazing, I'm God's gift to humanity, and I'm awesome because of this, or just not even any tangible reason, just like I'm awesome. When you go up to that person, if you believe that strongly enough, whatever you feel, they're gonna feel. And especially with women, they're very submissive with that frame, and they want to kind of ping off of you, and forcing it on them, or forcing the assume attraction frame on them. And when you have that assume attraction, like I talked about in the gorilla video, if you believe that strongly enough, they're just gonna fall into that frame, basically. Boom! Extreme self-love. Coming at you from Brisbane, Australia. Thanks for checking out the video. Oh, and as always,